This is the Pegassi Zentorno. It's in the Superclass. It was introduced in the High Life update in May of 2014, back when things were simpler, and it rocked the Superclass. It sold at Legendary Motorsports for a paltry $725,000, but it was the start of the price hikes that we enjoy today. The Zentorno was seen as the car that broke the Superclass and made it a requirement to spend the extra cash to have the fastest vehicle back when the Superclass was still used. But it was simply a puddle in the pond as the sports class began to flourish. Even with its flaws, it's a cool car in the vein of some of the fastest vehicles in the world, and it felt cutting edge as well. Recently, it also got some love with upgrades and liveries, and I think it looks great with the new wheel selection. In the world of GTA, things have changed though. They've grown. We have tuned cars and upgrades that are incredibly fast, and the Zentorno is a forgotten car. So let's see if it still has what it takes to punch with the big boys. I think you'll be shocked with the results. Welcome to Grapeseed Circuit, where we test acceleration, handling, and braking. The Zentorno now feels like a top-end sport. It has generally good acceleration and mid-range braking for a super. It's aged actually very well. Its handling feels very old-school digital though, almost like Mario Kart. It grips well for a super, but it has a braking point that is kind of all or nothing, and finding that edge will be important. It's also important to leverage each turn, but otherwise it won't care as much about bumps or landscape changes. There's no flags to muck up the works, and you'll notice it immediately, and honestly, it's kind of fun. It did a 125.620 lap time, which was on par with the VIPPrimo HSW and less than a second off the Torero XO, which was absolutely shocking. It was still 3.5 seconds off the Ignis and 8 seconds off the HSW version. That's of course the weaponized one. But that still puts it in with a pretty solid feel when it comes to racing. But it's mostly because it's just a solid all-around vehicle with little options to get in the way of it circling the track, and that group is still not competitive. Welcome to Route 68, where we test top speed and top speed only. Here the Zentorno showed its age, coming in slightly slower than the original Otter. It did a 151.432, which was 5.59 seconds off the Divest 8 and 18 seconds off the HSW version. This speed knocks it down a notch with the old school cars that it used to dominate. What's worse is it felt like the car was literally giving it its all. It was wound out, sounded great, and it even felt good, but the results just weren't in its favor. We're back getting down and dirty and going down, where we test the dirt track prowess of the Zentorno, and it was giving its all. Without all the digital traffic newer cars have, it simply drove the track at its best it could in a class that hates dirt. It pulled in a 121.918 and in the mud, which is 4 seconds off the weaponized Ignis and 6.6 off the HSW version. It was very comfortable to drive, but in the end, still not competitive for a very competitive class. So what are the results? Well, the Zentorno bang for buck is the best car in GTA. Every car around it was close to, if not over, $2 million. Will it win races though? It's not on par with the top contenders, so you'll be hard pressed to purchase it, which really shows how far removed we are from the 2014 GTA we knew and love. It's still an honored vehicle among the top street racers in GTA, and there's no sign of that changing anytime soon. People who knew what it was like to move from the Entity XF to the Zentorno, Pegassi fanboys, and just general track guys that loved the transition from dollar bill white wall equipped Otters to the adoption of the Zentorno and its unavoidable wrath, was a great time. To the new players, the Zentorno doesn't have any pull, and I think that's unfortunate because it does deserve the award for honor. With the refreshed look, it definitely has an amazing feel that I'm happy to see it wear, even if it still won't do much at a car show. Do it a favor, and if you have one, take it out, because it really did change the landscape. So that was our test of the Zentorno, and I really have a lot of fun with this car. It really was the nostalgia I think that I needed to go back and enjoy it. There's certain things that I missed about old school GTA racing, but it also reminded me of some of the things that I didn't like about GTA racing. There are some cars like the Italy GTO that people have complained about, but in a more modern sense feel a lot more natural than some of the old cars. But it never hurts to go back and see what it was like, where we came from, and where we are today. And the Zentorno really does exemplify that time of we went from simple racing to it's time for the big dogs. And that was the thing, is it wore that title for a very long time. It took a lot to knock the Zentorno off, but again, right now it's pretty much been knocked off its pedestal and it's way down the road. So, but yeah, just keep an eye out for it. And like I said, if you have some of these old cars, take them out, run them for a ride, see how they do. You'll love it. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you again. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell so these videos will continue to pop up on your radar. We're going to keep testing cars by players and that really have started this game. Guys that have been playing since online day one. So you'll love it. And keep racing. We'll see you then.